What a beautiful life.
All that I've got is all that I need. I got you, baby, you got me. What more could I ask for? Beautiful life. Beautiful life. What a beautiful life. Beautiful life. Listen, I woke up this morning, y'all. The sun was shining oh so brightly. I thought about how good this life is. Back in the day, it wasn't always like this. I think about the things we done been through. I think about the place that I come from. It wasn't always easy, so every day I'm thanking God for the beautiful people everywhere.
Afternoon. Welcome to B.R.I.C.K City. It's your host, the real Charlemagne. Today I got a special guest with me. Dude I known all his life, literally. It's my son. His name is Tyrese. He's a barber in Charlotte. I would say up and coming barber, but he's definitely making his way, making his own way, making his own noise, doing things his way. And then with that being said, I'm going to cut up to the song The Weekend right now. And the next voice you'll hear is myself and Tyrese from Olympus Cuts in Charlotte. Thank you.
The same ones who be hitting on my line, they're not your friend. I need you to know that we ain't ever gonna go back. This time it got so bad. It's best for me, it's best for you. I need you to know that. Try to love you, but I force that. All signs we ignore that. And it's not the same, 'cause it's over now. Oh yeah, don't get too confused, girl, it's over now. Oh yeah, now coming back around, baby. Nothing left to lose, girl, it's over now. Oh. Yeah. So I take this just to forget you. I don't regret those memories. And I swear I'm not trying to test. I wish you the best, but then I can lead. But you always need that attention, feeding the past, but we don't speak. But we're both with somebody else, so please stop calling me. I need you to know that we ain't never gonna go back. This time it got so bad. It's not the same, 'cause it's over now. Oh yeah, don't get too confused, and it's over now. Oh yeah, now coming back around, baby. Nothing left to lose, 'cause it's over now.
Welcome back. Hope you enjoyed that last little break we had. I want you guys to welcome Tyrese from Olympus Cuts. Tyrese, how you doing today?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing great. Hey, I want you to tell us a little bit about yourself, man. How you get into the barber game. Tell us a little bit about your history. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so like you said, my brand is Olympus Cuts, and basically all that falls under that is, you know, obviously being a barber. Honestly, being a barber all around in every aspect, from cutting hair to customer service to, you know, me now. I'm getting into the clientele from a coaching standpoint. So, my clients now are going to be other barbers as well. So, basically, I started out, you know, graduated from high school, from Aiden Griffin, go Chargers. um, and went on, moved on to college, to go to Wofford College down there in Spartanburg, South Carolina, on the full ride athletic scholarship. And over that time, you know, after, you know, I played for a little bit and had that injury, and somehow it kept bringing me back to barbering.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know, it's just crazy signs. Like, I remember telling you a while. Remember, we was talking about my roommate. He
Mm-hmm.
wanted a haircut from me, and he
Right.
told me I just look like I know how to cut hair.
Right. Right. Right.
And it was crazy that he even said that, because I was like, you know, signs were there periodically. You remember, I would attempt to line myself up with your clippers
Right.
sometimes.
Yeah. 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 Sometimes, look, sometimes it was a tragic fail, but you know, hey, you kept at it though. You ain't let it get you down.
Yeah, I tried, but and yeah, so, and like I said, going back to the injury, I had, you know, brief signs here and there that kind of brought me back to barbering. Like, I
Right.
remember I used to be on YouTube a lot, and this was before I think the internet was like really listening to us like that.
Right.
Um, all that kept popping up on my suggested videos was a lot of barber videos without me searching them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, clipper videos, just things about overall barbering, period.
Right.
So that kind of drew me to it.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to a point where, you know, I started out, as you know, I went into corporate America after graduating college. Um, and I just got to a point of where I felt like I needed to go to barber school, and I needed
Right.
to give it a try.
Gotcha.
Because, you know, I would have rather tried and not been successful at it
Mm-hmm.
than always thinking about what if I would have tried.
Right.
You know,
Right. Right.
that's pretty much how I got started into it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know, I was grinding out, working that job, and going to barber school,
Right.
and I ain't even gonna say the rest is history, because I'm still making it. You
Look,
know,
the
so
history just began. You know, it's just
yeah,
beginning,
yeah,
so it's
yeah,
not history
exactly.
yet. Like you said, when you was working in corporate America,
Hmm.
I know you was working for a Fortune 500 company.
Hmm.
Now, with that being said, you were making pretty decent money, but
Yeah.
you seemed like you wasn't happy. What what drove you away from corporate America?
Um. Well, I think what it's not also about what drove me away. It's kind of, I think, the happiness also, or the unhappiness also, came in the fact that barbering was drawing me to it.
Mm-hmm.
So the more I got drawn to the barbering, the more I got unhappy with my job.
Right.
But another thing was, I felt like I was putting in a lot of work and a lot of time to make somebody else a lot more money,
Mm-hmm.
when I could be doing the same thing, betting on myself.
Gotcha.
And also, I I mean, you know me. I mean, you know me more than a lot of people, obviously.
Right.
Um, I kind of like playing by my own rules, you know, and
Yeah.
I felt like, you know, it's almost like it's almost like a superhero. I mean, yeah, you get to go and fight crime, but you got to do it with your identity covered up.
Right.
So
Right.
it's the same thing. Like, I was going to do something dope and cool,
Right.
but I was covering up me. I wasn't able to, you know, and not that I wanted to dress bummy or any certain way, but I like to feel comfortable in the clothes I like to wear. I like
Mm-hmm.
to, you know, have my own look about
Right.
myself, and I feel like I wasn't getting that as well. So,
So you felt confined and kind of you were becoming more of a a robot or just like you
Yeah,
said, just trying to fit in to
yeah,
what they want you to be and what, how they wanted to mold you, and you want to
mhm,
be your own person. I understand that.
yep,
Yeah, that's have your own identity, and
exactly.
that's definitely important in life because like you said, if you're not happy, you're not going, you're not typically going to succeed as well as you want to,
Exactly. And it makes the money not even mean anything. Because I
Right.
mean, I started that job when I was 22
Hmm.
and making more than, the average adult.
Right.
But I was like at that age from 22 to 25, I was like, I should be the happiest.
Right.
I should be in my life for the most part because I mean, I had a girlfriend. We didn't have any kids.
Hmm.
Um, I mean, we were kind of, moving how we wanted to move in a sense, but from a job and a career standpoint, I just wasn't happy.
Right.
Even though I was progressing, like, I was getting the promotions, faster
Yeah.
than what most people would,
Right.
and I was and making the money along with it, but
Right.
the happiness just wasn't there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
'Cause like I said, I know. I remember you received an award. You got Rookie of the Year in sales. When you started at the second company, and I said that
yep,
was impressive. I was like, for your region, and I was like, that was like the Northeast region. And I was like, that was pretty impressive. And you gave your best to corporate America. Like I said, you didn't lax on them and relax. You gave a good effort, and that
yeah.
translates to your personal business. Now, with barbering, how was your first year starting out after you completed barber school?
My first year being a full time barber.
Yes, first time barber. Yeah.
So I was pretty much trying to be rookie of the year again
Right.
in my own business.
Hmm.
Um, which I think I got it. Because it actually, I mean, it worked out well at the beginning. Obviously, just like anybody else, I had that slow phase,
Hmm.
but I shortened that phase
Hmm.
by putting in the work. And by doing other things that me and you talked about, and that I eventually I put into the form of an ebook.
Right.
But my first year, like I said, I started out, at the very beginning. I think I came down to Charlotte, in which we left that part out too. I moved to an entire new city
Hmm.
after graduating barber school
That's
and
right.
quitting
That's
the
right.
job.
Yeah, that's important.
So I quit the job and moved to a random city, which would have been Charlotte, where I knew. I mean, we got our cousin down here, Gene.
Right.
A couple friends that I went to college with, but
Hmm.
other than that, I mean, I was starting out fresh.
Right.
So like I said, I had that brief dead period, but once I started putting in the work, and I started realizing how I can build my clientele and tap into the market that I want to tap into. I mean, it picked up for me relatively quick.
Right.
And about I'm gonna say about 6 months,
Hmm.
I was going at full speed.
Right. Yeah.
So which I'm thankful for, because it's really unheard of for that to be happening within a 6 month time frame. And
Right.
I
Right. Right.
basically, at that point, I had already replaced the money from the corporate job as well.
Okay.
I would say I was relatively close enough to say that I put it that way, because
Mhm.
obviously we can't account for bonuses that I was getting from corporate America, but from a
Right.
base salary standpoint, for sure.
Look, your tips became bonuses at that time.
Yeah,
so,
yeah, yeah, exactly.
so yeah, you look at it like that. So somebody tip you, that's your bonus.
Yeah,
But
and
yeah,
it's all how you look at it too, because when you in corporate America, you get bonuses like quarterly
right.
or monthly, but when you're a barber, I mean, you get bonuses when holidays.
Exactly. Exactly.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying, um, or events like school going back, or
Hmm.
prom,
Hmm.
stuff like that. So that's a bonus in itself too, because your business is going to increase. That's just natural, because people need haircuts. Like, everybody's going to need haircuts around those times.
Right. 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 So with that being said, with the cuts, are you unisex? You are you just for one ethnicity, or you cut anybody to walk in the door, they're a potential customer?
So in the very beginning, everybody that walked through the door was a potential customer.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, yeah, everybody's a potential customer. But what I will say is now, I have been more selective, because I have been able to have the ability to be that way.
Okay.
Because at the beginning, it's all about a numbers game. It's all about cutting as many heads as you can, and no matter what type of person sits in your chair, and let me backtrack. I do cut all types of hair. So straight hair, curly, anything. I cut any in man or woman.
Right.
And well, females I primarily focus on like shorter styles.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really do a whole lot of sheer work with females. I primarily do like shortcuts and designs.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe like curly mohawks and things like that. So
Okay.
that's what my experience is when it comes to females. But anybody else from a male perspective, I mean, I pretty much cut everybody. But like I was saying, from being a selective standpoint, I was able to do that and then kind of do stuff a little bit different. So now, everybody that walks through the door, they are a potential client,
Right.
but we also have to mesh and they have to align with the business that I built now.
Totally.
So
Yeah, that's cool. What type of information would you give a new Bob? I know you without giving away too much of your ebook. What type of information would you give an individual, coming out of barber school or cosmetology school? What type of insight would you give them, starting out?
So first and foremost, I just did another speaking engagement with somebody else recently, and what I'm kind of getting the message out about right now is about passion.
Mm-hmm.
Overall, if you're passionate about the industry that you're joining or that you're already in,
Mm-hmm.
that passion should create an obsession for you. And overall, that overall obsession for your industry or whatever the case may be, whether you're a barber or a stylist or whatever the case may be, like that obsession should drive you to want to first off wake up every morning and go do your job, and run your business. And I put emphasis on your because
Right.
I
Because
mean
like you said, that's
everything
how you
you
eat.
do,
That's how you eat. That's how you keep the
yeah,
lights on. So it's your
exactly.
responsibility to make it work for you.
Exactly, and it's a reflection. Like it's a reflection of you. It's a reflection of your brand.
Mm-hmm.
It's a reflection of your product. And the one thing I will say is like when you think about it, you coming out of school, you don't have to be, and you won't be the best.
Right.
When it comes to like me, I always said when I first got out of school, I said I knew I wasn't the best hair cutter, but I can
Mm-hmm.
be the best overall barber.
Gotcha.
And what I mean by that is, I can cut hair decent, but I can have excellent customer service.
Exactly.
And when it comes to customer service, honestly, like now, like from the very beginning up until this point now, I make it real hard for my clients to leave. No matter,
Right.
I don't went up on pricing, 2
Mm-hmm.
to 3 times, but like I challenge people to do that. Like make it hard for people to leave because um and you do that by building those relationships. You
Exactly.
know, building relationships with people where like for me, I find out about people's pain points. I found
Mm-hmm.
out about their family, um, kids. Like I always ask how kids doing. I keep up with vacations.
Right.
I keep up with if somebody comes to get a cut for a job interview. Did they get the
Mm-hmm.
job? I mean, like everything. Like I try to remember all that stuff, and
Yeah. Being
that,
personable.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that's
and
definitely
starting
important.
to bring those intangibles. That's what's gonna keep that's what's gonna keep you getting money and keep you to people wanting to come and honestly like just sit in your chair because and the part of it is the service is cool. Like,
Right.
you know, some people really only want the best of the best. Like, and honestly, like those people, it's a small group of them. It's smaller than what people think. Some people
Right.
really want somebody they can vibe with, that can do a good job,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and do it how they want it to be done. Because I hear oftentimes that, like, a lot of times people say, "Dang, man, you listen well,"
Yeah.
and I cut their hair how they want it cut, not how I want it cut, not
Right.
how I think that.
Right.
But don't get me wrong, it's a fine line between that and having a professional opinion too.
Yeah.
Because in the same token, you got to be
Right.
professional. Yeah,
Yeah.
because you got to be professional enough to know that, like, they looking for something that ain't gonna work. You got to be able to articulate that and say, "Look, I don't think you can do this,
Right.
but we can get it close by
Closer to
doing
what?
this."
Right. 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 Right.
You
Right.
know what I'm saying?
I understand.
Like,
Yeah. Definitely.
somebody might want a mohawk, but a mohawk really don't fit them. But you could, you know, talk them into getting like a burst fade or something like that. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
but you know,
I
it's
got you.
just having that. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So and like the most important thing is go to work. Like, people that sounds simple,
Right.
but people get that freedom
Yeah.
and that you know, that availability, and they think that they supposed to just ride around all day if they
Right.
don't have
Right.
um or do nothing. And I always tell people, if you're not working in your business, work
Mhm.
on your business.
Right. Right.
So,
Right.
you know, you should be working on posting on social media. You should be working on, you
Okay.
know, getting reviews from clients, or updating your portfolio, or
Right.
coming out with whatever something to build your business and work towards something.
Gotcha.
So that's what I suggest. And like I said,
Okay.
it's plenty more.
Yeah. 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 Look,
But
don't get too much away. Don't get too much away. Hey, but with that said, look, we get a little short on time here. How can someone book with you, and also where can people find you to purchase the ebook or to see some of your styles?
all right, all of my stuff basically runs through Instagram. Like, my link is in the bio for everything. So the ebook is in the bio. If you don't want to completely purchase the ebook, which I don't see why you wouldn't, because there's a lot of
Mhm.
information in there. You know, I have a newsletter as well that goes out. That's in my bio as well.
Okay.
And booking is through the bio. Primarily, like I said, right now, I'm trying to book barbers to help build their business, barber
Right.
stylists.
So what's the name? What's the name on your IG? What's your IG name? And I can
And
find you.
that's very important. Huh?
Right.
uh, Olympus Cuts. That's
Okay.
OLYMPUSCUTS, all one word.
Uh-huh.
Um, and so everything, and like I said, everything runs through my Instagram. It's all under Olympus Cuts.
Gotcha.
Um, and that, like I said, the you can click the link in the bio. It
Mm-hmm.
has everything up there: ebook, how to get in contact with me, the newsletter if you just want like some daily tips, or weekly tips, I should say.
Okay.
And yeah, so everything through Instagram, pretty much.
Gotcha. 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 Hey Tyrese, hey, I appreciate your time. I know you're a busy fellow. Got the baby at the house, and the soon to be wifey. So yeah, look, I know it's your time is tight. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate you
Yeah.
coming through. And but like you said, I'm about to sign off of here. And all you people out there, that's listening, hey, reach out to him. Hey, he definitely a wealth of information, barbering and any other type of organization that you have or businesses that you have. The information could be applied to a lot of different things. Um, hope
Pretty
everyone
much any
have
service-based business.
say it one more time.
I said pretty much any service-based
Any
business.
service, yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yep. Any
yeah.
service-based business. That's what I think I would say I specialize in, or I can really help
Uh huh.
from that standpoint. So,
Gotcha.
yep.
All right, man. Well, like I said, we'll get up with you. And like I said, I'm gonna have you back up here again, see how things going with you. And look, a follow up in a couple of months.
Okay,
See
cool.
if you got any, new clients. See if you got anything special going on. And then, but with that said, I hope everyone enjoys, this Martin Luther King weekend. Don't forget why you off of work. The reason why you're going to be off of work on Monday. And remember, this Martin Luther King Jr. gave the ultimate price, for to help us with our freedom. So, don't forget the reason why you're off work and why you have a long weekend this weekend. And until then, I'll see you guys next Saturday from the B.R.I.C.K.S. This is B.R.I.C.K.S City with your host, the real Charlemagne. And I'm going to take you out with the King Holiday Chorus. And like I said, just remember, hey, Dr. King have a dream. You can have one too. Talk to you soon.
Once a year we celebrate Washington and Lincoln on their birthdays. And now a third name is added to the list of men of peace, strong major justice. Now, every January on the third Monday we pay homage to the man